Welcome to Prove It. I'm Megan O'Connor.
And I'm Mary Cummings.
This is the podcast for people who know that they were meant for more, but just don't know how to achieve it.
Every week, we bring you real conversations, proven strategies, and that kick in the ass you didn't know you needed to become the person you really want to be. So it was somewhere in my first couple years of business, you're going through training, you have mentors, and I was taught that being a good real estate agent meant being available 24/7. And it's just not the reality of it, you know? Like, as you evolve through your career and you go through these experiences where you are available 24/7 and you can't go out to dinner without turning your phone off or answering a call, you realize like how false that is. But being the perfectionist that I am, I'm like, oh, like, to be the best agent, I've got to have my phone on 24/7. I have to answer calls at 10 p.m., answer texts at 6 a.m. And it's like, well, first off, perfection is just completely unrealistic to think that it is attainable. Nobody is going to be perfect. And at the end of the day, if you're striving for perfection and you're setting yourself up to be available 24/7, it's almost always going to end in burnout.
I'm trying to go back to my mind, like, in where I was, like, at that time, and I think it's just, like, all excitement, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're getting your license, or you're starting your new job, and it's just, like, you get so excited for when that phone rings, that you're just, like, you're running so hard, you're, like, you know, you're doing something, you're in the middle of dinner with your significant other, or your friends, and you're like, oh my God, like, I gotta leave. I gotta take this, and it's just, like, you know, it's just like all like you're trying to like create the business, right?
Yeah.
Like you're working really hard, and then it's just like you get to a point, and I think like as business evolves and as it grows, it's just like the boundaries start to evolve into a little bit stronger spaces, right?
Yeah.
So it's like when I started in the business, you know, I was definitely into that space where it's just like I was more available. Right, because I didn't have that, and obviously, like, my life was very different 15 years ago.
Right.
than it is right now. But, you know, fast forward 15 years, and as, you know, from where I am today and the boundaries that I have, and thinking back to that Megan O'Connor 15 years ago, like, sitting in a room with, like, top agents. All right, so say you're sitting in a room with top agents. This is, like, my aha.
Yeah.
At Keller Williams events, we have a space where there's top agents in the front, right? So they have like a priority. And then there's, you know, towards the back, you have, I'm going to call it everybody else. If you watch the room and how many people in the front of the room get up during the speakers,
0.
to pick up their phone to be like, oh, I gotta get up. You know what I mean? There's a call. It's priority.
Yep.
You were there for a reason. You were there for a purpose. And it's just like, it's boundaries. And when you think about the phone calls and you think about like, well, what's gonna change? My phone rings and it's just like, it's okay if I don't get back to you within the next few hours. Like, I think that it was like urgency. And to me, it's just like, you're not the only person. And it took me a very long time, and I'm still learning that, right? It's just like, everybody wants an answer yesterday, but that's just not reality. Like, my business has grown into a place where I'm really proud of it, and it's obviously not where it was 15 years ago. And it's just like, in order for me to service everybody, like, I can't always get back to somebody within that hour.
Right, because you may be with another client.
Exactly, but I'm like, you know what? Like, I take priority. Like, if you're needing an offer in by a deadline, 100%, we're gonna make it happen.
Right.
That's the priority, and everybody else goes to the side. But it's just like, it's creating those boundaries around like, I don't need to answer my phone 24/7. I will take the priorities in terms of like, if it's a time of the essence, 100%, I am there for you.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody ever died in real estate.
Yeah. And when everything is urgent, nothing is urgent. And I actually listened to something the other day, and it said, learning is the only asset that you can create for yourself that can't be taken away. your business, those clients, they can go away at the drop of a hat. So I feel like when you're talking about priorities and you're talking about these top agents sitting at the front of the room, it's like, why do you think learning is that priority for them? Why do you think they are setting a time boundary around learning? Because they know that out of all of the other activities that they could be doing in that time and space, that learning is going to have the most return on investment in the long run. It's not the client that they need to answer immediately, because guess what? That client will still be there in 2 hours when the seminar is over.
When you go, be mindful, is if you go to a seminar, if you go to a convention and you see somebody walk out of the room, I guarantee you it's going to be a newer agent that's walking out of the room more so than like a seasoned agent, because they know that they're there. Time is important, right?
Yeah.
If I'm going to something, if I'm going to a seminar and I'm time blocking my being there, it is important for me to be there and I want to learn what's there. Yeah. My phone, that can wait. My time is a priority, and like being present in that, I'm not going to step out for something that isn't an emergency.
Exactly.
Like that can be a lunch break phone call. That can be after the fact. And it's just like watching people get up to take these phone calls. It's just like, those are newer agents that haven't developed those processes.
Half the time it's spam.
I'm like, it's just like, it's evolving into that space where it's just like, I used to be that person.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, there is a time and a place
you
to
have
pick
to.
up. Yeah, you have to. When you're in the beginning of a new job,
you're different.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like you do have to hustle, because it's like you don't know what the phone call could be. It could be your next lead, and it's like you don't know where your next lead is coming from. So there is a little bit, I definitely think there is a mindset shift that needs to happen from when you're first starting your business to like evolving your business and being one of those top agents.
Right.
And I think one of those things that you learn throughout that evolution is not being available all the time actually makes you more sought after. And that's a very interesting idea as well.
I mean, my business is based on mostly like my center of influence and my referrals, right? And it's just like, we live in, a town of 30,000 people, and it's just like, it's really important to me, obviously, during that. And I think that, having my name and building the business that I've had is just, it's my boundaries. And the more I've been in the business has been more important year after year. And I think I've just been really intentional about like, I had a new client that double called me. And I know everybody that knows me well knows about the double call. Yeah. And I let them know, hey, listen, I saw that you called once, and I know that you called me again. And I will let you know, like, I know that we just started working together. I see your calls and I see your text messages. I am busy. I will get back to you in a timely manner.
As soon as I can.
Yeah, as soon as I can. So I set the expectation right from the beginning to say that. Like, hey, listen,
appreciate you,
yeah,
but you need to appreciate me and my time as well.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think a huge misconception around boundaries is people think, oh, well, if I set boundaries, I'm putting up a wall, or people won't respect me, or people will think that I don't want to talk to them. And I think that you find out when you do set these boundaries, people respect you that much more. It's like, oh, wow, she took the time to say, hey, this is, I appreciate you communicating with me. I am busy right now. As soon as I am available, I will get back to you. Or if even if it's the next business day, if they're double calling you at 10 o'clock at night, it's like, I'm not working right now. And that boundary can also be set through not responding until the next business day when you are working again. Right.
I mean, have I lost, potential clients because I haven't responded in a timely manner? Yes, I'm sure that I have, multiple, and that's okay.
It's okay.
Like, I'm one person, I have a team behind me that helps me out. Can I do everything? I can't. Like, I'm growing, I'm doing the best that I can. I take priority in the people that I need to take priority in. If I don't get back to you in the time that you need to do, then it is what it is, and I understand if you need to go to the next person, then I'm okay with that.
It's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm not going to shift my boundaries for anybody.
Right.
It's just, to me, it's just like, they are what they are, and I have priorities in terms of like how I work, when I work. I have a family, like I have all of the things too. So, it's just life.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, the other thing that I think it relates back to is when you're in this space of growing your business, it is hard to set those boundaries, but I think it's important to shift your mindset to a space of like, what am I building this business for? What are my priorities in, like, why do I need to work all the time? You know what I mean? And a lot of people's, it comes from financial and time freedom. It comes from, I want to spend time with my family. But it's like you're doing the opposite if you're working 24/7 and not spending any time with your family, and you become resentful of your job or this business that you're building, and it just, you burn out. And I have been there. I mean, last year I was working 14-hour days, and at the end of the year I just sat back and I looked at it, and it's like, this is not sustainable. I was like physically sick from overworking myself. And you just kind of sit back and it's like, what areas can change, and how can I set boundaries around what have I been doing? What is your 80 and 20%, right? It's like, what is the 20% that's actually moving the needle and is the priority? And what is this 80% that's responding to emails, responding to texts when you don't need to be, or like doing busy work? It's just...
I think that's all within your leverage, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like, what are those pieces that can be leveraged off to give you more of your time back? And obviously, as your business grows, like, you can start leveraging off more of those pieces to other things, pieces in your business, pieces in your household, like whatever it is. Like, and I think that for me, once I start leveraging one thing off, it's just like, what more can I leverage off?
Right.
Like, that feels amazing. Like, giving, like, to me, it just kind of like snowballs into like the freedom of like, simple things.
Getting your groceries delivered.
Exactly. Like, really simple things. Like, I'm sorry, like cleaning, like having your house cleaned.
Yep.
Like, to me, like, that's time with my family. Like those things, getting your groceries delivered, like, that's time. That's time that you get back. And, not doing some, paperwork. Like, I leverage all of my paperwork off to people, operations, you know what I mean? It's just like, once you start, pushing that stuff for like in other directions, it's just like, okay, now I can just focus on like
actually getting back to your clients.
Doing the things and doing that. And it's
that
like,
matters.
and doing the really things that are important and getting back to your clients. And it's just like, everything just goes in.
Yeah, as soon as I hired my assistant to leverage my paperwork off to her, I was like, for a second I had a little bit of whiplash. I'm like, whoa,
This is great.
I have a lot more time. And it's like,
to do the things that you want to do.
To do that 20% and to build your business and to move the needle that much more. And it's like, now I can set boundaries. Now I do have dinner with my partner every night. And it's like, that was something, I used to eat dinner at my desk last year. Like, it changes your life so much, just making one small shift, like we always talk about.
I think the thing in my brain that kind of goes off where you're like, something has to start changing is when I start like, when I lay down and I start like, my mind starts to spin and I start like dreaming of work.
Dreaming.
Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, this, like, that's to me is like my burnout,
It's
like,
too much.
trigger where I'm like, I'm going too hard. And it's just like, we love work, right? Like, I could work a lot. And
Me too.
I don't.
We do.
I enjoy it.
Me too.
Like, I enjoy it. I enjoy the rush of it. I enjoy the people.
The excitement of negotiations.
Yeah, like, to me, it's just, it doesn't feel like work.
I know.
It feels exciting, like, all aspects of it. Like, so you kind of just get wrapped up in the whole entire, like, whirlwind of what it is, that it's all good stuff, but it's just like, you do have
Other priorities
too that need to be those priorities. And I have a rule for myself, where my husband kind of gets annoyed, but I will sit in my car.
Me too.
I will sit in my car for an hour because once I walk into my house,
Phone's going off.
my phone goes off.
Yep.
It doesn't go off the whole entire night, but like when I walk through the door from work, like I'm saying hello. I'm being present
You're
for my
hugging your
family.
kids,
I'm
you're
not
hugging
like
yeah.
I'm really trying to like be here and not like first walk in the door and being like on the phone and like being distracted by the phone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm present, but I'm not. I will sit in my car until it's all done, because that way I know it's off of my plate for the moment, and then I will say between like 9 and 10, I'll pick it back up and like make sure it's wiped before I go to bed.
Yeah, me too.
So it's just like, you know, just for those kind of few hours, like I have like a couple hours where I'm just like, that's my time.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not a work at home person. I need, like, I get up, I get dressed, I go to the office, and it's just like, home to me is my, like, home place.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm home, I don't work, I'm out of the house, so it's just like, he's like, why don't you just come in the house? I'm like, no.
My boyfriend's like peeking out the window.
I'm
like,
gonna be in the
when are you gonna come in?
I'm gonna be in the garage in my car
Yeah.
until I'm done.
Yeah.
He's like, what's the difference? I'm like, it's just different.
You haven't seen me yet.
Yeah, it's just different. So it's just like, that's my boundary where I'm like, when I'm home and I'm done.
Yeah.
Like, it's all in your head, but it's just like, I really try and be present and be off my phone.
I mean, that's such a great tool. I think there's a lot of tools in setting boundaries, and like one of them is creating spaces where you do certain things. Like, okay, I read in this space, I sleep in this. Like, you're not supposed to work in bed, right? It's just like the two. When you're in bed, you're supposed to be sleeping. When you're at the office, you're supposed to be working. When you're at home, you're supposed to be spending time with your family, relaxing, whatever it is.
That's 100% how my brain works. I always say like lanes.
Categorize, yeah.
Like, I am a lane person where I'm like, this is my lane, that's your lane. Like, well, why are you doing that? That's not a lane. Like, that's not your lane. Like, to
Right.
me, it's just like, I get very confused when something's happening where it's just like, well, that's not your job. Why are you doing that? Like, to me, everything has like a certain space.
Yep.
And it's just like, people that work from home, like, I just don't understand that. Like, I can't work from home. Like, I need to get up, I need to get dressed, I need to go to an office. Like, that's just how my brain is wired.
Right.
Like, I'm like, oh, you work from home? Like, how do you do
Well, if you have a designated like room in your house.
How does that work for you?
If
like,
you don't have kids and you have an office at your house,
yes,
I feel like that's
I mean,
the only. Like, that's how
yes,
I can.
I mean, more than 50% of the whole world does that. Like, I'm like, I understand it, but I'm like, I just
For you, that's your
just
system.
like, that's not how I'm wired. I'm like, I get up, I get dressed, I gotta go.
Yep.
And to me, I just have that space, and when I sit down at my desk, I'm like, you know, I'm in my world. And it's just, to me, everything has just a
slot.
A
And it's
slot.
the same way that time blocking does too. So I think the tools are having your spaces and knowing your time boundaries, right? So figure out what your priorities are. Is working out every day a priority? Is reading every day a priority? How many hours do you want to work? How many hours do you want to spend with your family? Put it in your calendar, people. Like, it's not that hard. Make a plan and follow it.
It is hard.
Well, yes, it is hard, but it's not
Do you
hard to
know
put
how-
it in your calendar.
It's not hard to put it in your calendar, but I remember 6 years ago, Keller Williams taught me that, like, about time blocking. And it
Mhm.
was such a foreign language to me to be like, wait a second, every day, and they're like, you should know your calendar, like, every year.
Yeah.
Like, this is when your slot of appointments are. This is when you do appointments. This is when you do
This is
showings.
the week you're taking
This
vacation.
is the week you take vacations. I'm like,
What?
no.
Have you seen like the big ass calendar when people have their full year
Yeah.
completely laid out? That to me is like.
And like, when I first heard this, I'm like, this is gonna take me a little bit to wrap my head around this.
Mhm.
And it's just like, 6 years later, I'm still working on it. And it's just like, it's hard. And it's hard to stick to be like, between, 9 and 11, I do this every single day. And
Yeah.
I try to stick to it, but it's just like, does it
It's got a little wiggle room.
wiggle every now and again? It wiggles.
Yeah, for me, it's not a foreign language because I grew up with a digital calendar. Like when I was in school, my schedule was on a calendar. It was like sports at this time.
You're so
I'm
annoying.
sorry. It's like I literally religiously use my calendar. It's something that I'm very strong in. I mean,
Do you know that I just got a digital calendar?
Perfectionist.
Like 3 years ago. It was like all writing, and it was actually somebody that made fun of me. I was at a
You had an agenda?
I was writing it out, and I was at an appointment, and it was a client that was like, "You still have a paper calendar?"
Like, where's your Google Calendar?
I was like, "Yeah." And from then on, I'm like, I gotta change because I'm being made fun of. And
You're
I'm
like, I've got to show you this amazing thing called Google.
Yeah. And I was like, I guess I gotta change. But anyways, I find time blocking just it's something I've evolved into, but I still struggle with it.
Yeah, I actually heard something recently as well that's like, you should time block like down to the task. Not even just, some people time block like, okay, work for 8 hours, like build your to-do list out for the day and then time block by the task. So like you have to estimate like, okay, I think this is going to take me 30 minutes. And some people even go down to a science of like setting a timer. So when you're starting a task,
like the reminders and like alarms.
yeah, like set a timer. It's like, okay, so then you know, like time on task. Like this is how long it took me to do this. And so the next day when you're like, I have to do this again, you know, okay, I need to budget 45 minutes instead of 30. And the important part of this is when you're starting that timer, if you pick up your phone to answer a text, to answer a call, to accidentally doom scroll for 5 minutes on social media, you need to stop that timer because the task isn't actually taking you that long. It's a distraction. And it's very important that you like measure those things because people will say like, oh, I worked for 14 hours. It's like, but did you actually, like, how many times did you pick up your phone? How many times were you distracted? Like, you need to be able to sit down and focus on one task for X amount of time if you actually want to like get the work done. And that's a boundary too, is putting your phone on do not disturb.
You know, even doom scrolling that helped me is like blocking your doom scrolling. Like on my doom scroll, like I only have, I think it's like 5 minutes.
Really? How do you do that?
It's a block. You can time block your doom scroll where it will alert you. Like, so in a day, I can only doom scroll 5 minutes.
That's amazing.
So you can time it to be like, you've already doom scrolled your time today. And
You
it's
get 5 minutes.
So
of
at least
dopamine.
you're aware.
Yeah, right.
So like you can say okay, but at least I'm aware of like, hey, I've already doom scrolled 5 minutes, and if you hit 5, then it's like, okay, I've hit 5 twice today. So it's like you know where you're at, but at least you have your reminders of.
Is that like right in the social media app? You set that up?
Yeah.
Well, that's amazing. I'm gonna do
Time
that for
blocking.
myself. Time blocking? Time block or doom scrolling?
Look at something I taught you in the
Technology
Yes.
world.
I
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah, totally. So, I mean, there are so many tools around setting boundaries, but the first thing that you need to do is define them. And if it's with another person or if it's with a job, communicate them. If it's with yourself, like write them down and hold yourself accountable to them. Because, like you said, it is not easy. It's not.
I will say is 2026. I've told you this before.
Your year of no.
My year of no. I think that in previous years, you ever go through like the years, and especially like obviously like we're different in like where we are in our lives.
Yeah.
I have married kids, all the things, you not. But it's just like I used to be like, yes, the year of yes,
Yeah.
many years. Like
We'll go to that
I'm doing
social
everything.
event.
Like
Yeah.
I'm here. Like
Go
I'm
on the
there.
trip,
Yes,
whatever
like,
it is.
I'm gonna go to this dinner. I'm gonna go to this event. Like I was just like I want to know everybody. And it's just like this year I was really intentional about like no. I think that life in the past has just pulled me in a lot of different directions. And coming into 2026, I was like, these are my people. And I identified my people. And most of my people are people that I've known for 30 plus years.
Yeah.
Like most of my people where I'm like, I'm going to spend more time and be intentional about these people that I've just known for a long time. Like, these are my people that were at my wedding by my side. Like, these are my girls. And then these other people are people that you're my person. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, you're an important person in my life.
Yeah.
My family. Like, be more intentional with my family right now. Like, I'm really, like, just wanting to be home.
Yeah.
And wanting just to spend more time with my kids. We're really busy at work. And it's just like, and then, like, everything else doesn't really matter to me right now.
You don't have to say yes to everything.
And it's just like, you know, I volunteer at some things, and I do this and I do that, and those things are important. And just like, it's just being really defined about what I want to do in 2026. And then everything else is just, no.
And I think it's astonishing when you do get to that spot and you do set those boundaries and you kind of look back at previous years and how stress levels have changed, how anxiety has changed. It's like it keeps you in your lane, right? It keeps you more focused. What is the goal? What is the vision? What are my priorities? And how am I going to get there? It's like we talk about business planning every year. Like your plan, it's a plan, and it helps you reach your goals, whatever you set those out to be.
Mm-hmm. I feel like it just makes everything else to be like, I'm just so focused and, you know, what my intentions are, that it's just making everything else just like very, like I'm very unbothered by it. Like it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
You know, and I just think that coming back to journaling, I just like being and writing it all down and being like, this is really what I want to focus on. These are my people. Like, I'm sending birthday cards to these people. I'm like texting these people. Like, these are the people that are really important to me, and I've never done these things before. And I really want to start being like, we're getting older, and you know, times are like, I want to put my energy into these people because.
And you don't need to explain yourself.
Yeah.
You don't need to stop over explaining. When you set a boundary, like communicate it.
I don't feel
and stick to it. You don't have to. You don't owe anything to anybody else for your time, your relationships, whatever it is. You don't owe that to anybody else,
I agree,
but yourself and your.
I just feel like life is just. It's just a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It is.
And I think you get fucking swooped up in it, where it's just like. At the end of like 2025, I just think my head was just spinning, and I'm like, I just can't be everything for everyone.
I know.
And
that's what I was like. I'm the same way.
Just like, but what can I do? Mm-hmm. Who can I be there for? And who can I be there who can I be there better for? And who do I want to show it better for? And I was just like, I need to be there for these people in a better way.
Yeah. So I think for our audience, if you feel like you're finding resentment in your life, if you feel like you're not spending enough time with your family, whatever you're struggling with right now, take out your prove it journal.
Prove it.
Write down where you're having these pain points in your life, and then next to that, write what boundaries could change that and take that resentment away, take that stress away, take that
toxic,
burnout.
The toxic things. Like I know that I had some toxic things that were going on in my world, and I'm like,
just know. Just know.
And it can be one thing.
Yeah,
it
can be.
My freaking kid's iPad brings toxic into my life. Get it out.
Such a small thing.
Get it out. It's just like, it doesn't even have to be like, to me it's like, take one thing out. Like whatever your toxic piece is can be like materialistic. Like, like, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't have to be like this
boundary around
huge,
TV time.
Yes, like whatever it could be. It's just like, what to you like is not bringing you like joy into your world, and be like, let's
figure it out.
Take it out.
Make a change and prove it to yourself that you're capable of holding that boundary.
The work isn't hard, it's just what most people won't do consistently.
If you're ready to master your mindset through small, intentional shifts, keep tuning in.
And if you've ever considered how real estate could help evolve your financial future, it's time to have a conversation, because you know you are meant for more.
Now prove it.